this thing on? The weather outside is weather. 50,000 people. 50,000 people. All thanks to the UK's world-beating test and trace system. Ha! And their world-class scientific team. Ha! We now have the highest, the UK, that is, the highest number of deaths from coronavirus in Europe. Third or fourth in the world. I think there's only 3 other countries that are higher than us. Well done. And this all comes after a week being in lockdown 2.0. A lockdown that is lockdown, but not kind of lockdown. Well, it is a lockdown, but it's not. But it is lockdown. Well, let me go through what lockdown was. At first, everything was closed, basically, apart from supermarkets and pharmacies, I think, were still open. But everything else was closed. You couldn't go and get a coffee from a coffee shop. You couldn't go to a bookshop to get a book. If it was deemed not necessary, it was closed. So that's what lockdown is, right? All non-essential places close. Stay indoors as much as you can and only go to a supermarket if you really need to go to a supermarket. That was lockdown number 1. Now lockdown number 2 is a lockdown, but it's not really a lockdown. You can still go and get a coffee with a queue of 10 people, not really standing 2 meters apart. That's what usually happens, right? You all cram into a coffee shop and to buy a coffee. Almost everything is open. Lockdown now is basically, if you're a pub or a restaurant, then you have to close. Which is funny because 2 months ago we had a scheme in the UK, Eat Out to Help Out, which was basically to drive everyone to go to pubs and restaurants as much as they could with as many people as they could. Oh, do this. Get everyone into your pub, get everyone into your restaurant, and 2 months down the line, oh, that was your fault, so you have to close now. So also now in lockdown 2.0, you should stay inside. You should work from home if you can. That's not happening. The roads are chock-a-block in the morning, in rush hour, in the morning and in the evening. So clearly no one's really working from home. In the city here where I live, there are people everywhere. And shopping as well, which doesn't feel very locked down to me. And it's crazy. We had the chance to lock down for 2 weeks. They called it a circuit breaker. That would have helped. And that would have only been a 2-week lockdown. But our government decided, nope, let's not do that. Let's carry on. Let's carry on with the tier system that, while it was working in some places, wasn't really working everywhere else. And it got to the point where our case numbers and our deaths were climbing to the points they were in March, and now we're in a month-long lockdown, which again is a lockdown, but not really a lockdown. So it kind of feels like, for someone like me who wants to follow the rules as much as possible to keep everyone else safe and keep myself safe and keep my family safe, it's frustrating. Other people clearly are giving up. Why would you? It's so confusing. It gets too confusing. Trying to follow rules that are all over the place is hard, and people just stop doing it. And also this lockdown is not being enforced. It doesn't seem to be enforced as much as it was last time, so people can break these rules and get away with it. So people who are actually trying to follow the rules, like me, it's frustrating, it's infuriating sometimes. We also now have we had a good economic break in just before September. The economy was doing good. It was growing. The growth rate was back up. It wasn't back to normal, but it was getting there. And then lockdown happened again, and it's going down again. What our government doesn't seem to realise is that a lot of our economy is helped by the arts, and by having a lockdown, you're stopping that. The arts doesn't have any help here at the moment. So once you have a lockdown and no one can do that, the economy is going to be affected, which is something that I don't think anyone has really quite grasped. So this is just a rant. I'm all for the lockdown. The lockdown will help overall, but things aren't clear. People aren't following the rules. It doesn't feel like a lockdown. And sometimes I wake up in the morning and think to myself, why am I locking myself down? And the only reason I do is because I know that I'm going to be helping other people. But there is hope. We've got a vaccine, or hopefully we've got a vaccine that works 90% of the time. I kind of imagine that on the bottles of these vaccines, it's going to have that little label on the, when we have cleaning products that have, it kills 99.9% of germs, and that 0.1% is there to cover their own asses when someone says, oh, we didn't clean this bit of bacteria. Well, it was in that 1%, that 0.1% that we told you about. So it'll be interesting to see how many people take this vaccine and it doesn't work, and whether that ends up being a cover. Oh, I had that vaccine and it didn't work. Oh, we did only say 90%. So it's a good thing. I'm really happy that it's close, and hopefully by mid-December we'll be having vaccines rolled out, which is great news. But it is only 90%, so we should not get our hopes up too much. Anyway, that was just a rant. It doesn't mean anything. I suppose, it's educational for anyone who doesn't live in the UK. That's where the UK is at the moment. Lockdown 2.0, which is a lockdown but not a lockdown. Stay at home but also go outside. Work from home, but don't work from home if you can, or work from home if... Hey, if you want to see some more of my videos, including rants or sketches, then make sure you hit that subscribe button. And if you want to be notified, hit that notification bell. Sam out.